ain't gonna get my ass busted by that motherfucker. And
what?
But then they insured.
Right, exactly.
He fighting like his mother and his father own Macy's because and they don't want you to take the shit.
And they don't care about it.
And don't give a fuck.
You just a hired help.
When the brother make the move, the white nigga step back.
Yeah.
I thought you had it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiasticus 13 verse 16. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like.
Right, a man will cleave to his like. You go to people that you're spiritually accustomed to, all right? You might look Japanese, all right, but your whole vibe, your whole spirit, and what do you identify with? All right, the same thing we identify with, man. Exactly, because that's who you are in the spirit.
Right.
So it goes deeper. It goes deeper than how you look, but you got a lot of people don't realize that. Man.
I met my first Asian friend when I went to prison as a space, and I was in my 30s. I ain't never had an Asian friend before.
Right.
So it was bugged out. Because don't get me wrong, they might not be part of this, right?
Some of them are. Some of them are.
Yeah, some of them are, yeah.
You ever heard of China Mac?
Yeah.
China Mac is one of us.
So Chinese people?
Some of them are.
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee. You got you ever heard Jin the rapper?
Yeah.
He's part of us too, man.
Well, that's what's up. I know he has some shit with him.
It's all about your seed. All right, where your father comes from. Okay. It don't matter how you look, because your father, like you said, your father was Puerto Rican. He married a Japanese woman.
My name is Angel Manuel Rodriguez. They don't get no more Spanish. Even my credit score funky.
Yeah. You would have said that, like, they would have said, you go to a job interview.
You welcome here.
You put Rodriguez, they're not thinking that. They're thinking you're going to say Yakamoto or something.
You're already like, oh, this nigga not high.
Yeah.
But then when they see me, they're like, oh, shit, he's fucked up. He looks smart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But if you put a Japanese name, they was like, all right, come through. But then they see your vibe, like, oh, hell no. We don't want you to
I got fucked up when I went to reception up north. When I first went up, because I put my government.
Right.
They thought I was lying.
Right.
So they were like, you want to tell me your real name, boy?
Yeah.
They were fucking me. I was like, I had the lines like, yo, Michael Chin. Michael Chin. I might as well.
You see?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the spirit, and you got a lot of people who can't get with that.
All
right? They're like, nah, he ain't down with this. He ain't. No, but you are. Because your spirit, first of all, you going through the same shit that we go through.
Yep.
Being locked up, being oppressed, all right, being in a low condition. Because you part of the fold. And the same thing that applies to us applies to you. Go ahead, bring the scriptures up.
Daniel 7 and 9.
Huh?
I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
No, 9 and 7.
9 and 7.
Yeah.
Right?
Confusion of faces.
Confusion of faces, yeah.
Daniel's 9 and 7. It said, O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces.
But unto us confusion of faces. See, you have a confusion of face. Because they'll look at you and be like, nah, this dude ain't no Israelite. Because you don't look like a typical Israelite. You don't look like a typical Puerto Rican. You go to somebody like, yo, I'm Puerto Rican. They look at you like, man, fuck out of here. Man. You speak Spanish?
I'm chopped up.
Yeah, but
like you said, chopeado.
But you got a lot of Puerto Ricans.
But I can do my thing.
Who barely speak Spanish. I got a friend that work with me.
Yeah, me too. I got. They don't understand lick of Spanish.
You know what he told me? He said because when his people first came, they
didn't want him to speak.
Yeah, he was ashamed of being Puerto Rican.
Yep.
That's why I don't know Spanish like
so
that.
that's why he didn't know Spanish. He said the same. He told me straight. He said, look,
They're ashamed of it.
around a lot of black people. And he was ashamed, man. He just put on some,
well, we could just have some better
we're super people. You're Superman, man. We're super people. But he had that same problem. He said, look, he was ashamed of speaking Spanish.
I was embarrassed. Because you know who fucked with me? I guess it was taught to my Spanish brothers when I used to speak and whatever. They used to laugh at me and make fun of me.
Because he wasn't speaking
There was really no place I could go growing up because even in my household, you know what I'm saying, like all my first cousins, my mother's the youngest of her two sisters.
Right.
My grandmother, she married, her first husband was black.
Right.
So every last cousin, I got 8 of them, 100%. They my first cousins, my blood.
Right.
And they all 100% black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your complexion. You would never think that if you fuck with me, I'll send 8 black niggas to go with your hat. They look like, I ain't your family.
Yeah.
Pay these niggas to fuck me up. You know what I'm saying? Word. But it's just crazy that I didn't feel comfortable because I was made to feel that way.
Right.
So I shut down. And now I'm starting to pick up the language again because as you get older, your brain's not the sponge it once was.
You're right. Exactly right. Yeah, you're right.
So it's crazy. The most education I've ever gotten. I ain't get out. I ain't get a college degree. I got a GED in prison.
Right.
But you know who taught me? one of the strongest black women I've ever met. She was white.
Right.
She was a psychiatrist. She was born and raised in Harlem. That's when I got it right there.
Right.
147. And she grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she did her thing with college, whatever. But you know what? She showed folks that, you know what? You ain't got to be white to have a degree. You ain't got to be white to do all this.
It's what society teaches you. Yeah.
And yeah, she might be part of the rat race, but guess what? She don't let these white motherfuckers make her feel any kind of way.
But a lot of people don't think like
And
that.
I used to feel uncomfortable
Right.
when they used to belittle me or whatever.
Right.
She used to be like, well, who said it? Who did it? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna teach you some shit. And she always corrected me. She was like, before these white motherfuckers correct me for saying the wrong word, I'm gonna show you the right word.
Right.
You know, and don't ever think that, oh, you talking like a white person because you talking with intelligence.
Right.
And you giving white people too much fucking credit.
Exactly.
Why you talk like a white person? Why? Because I'm talking with intellect?
See,
Right. Why is that place? Yeah, right.
When you change the tone of voice.
Exactly.
That's
Not
what
the
you
words
talk,
you
yeah.
use.
Yeah, not the words you use.
Now if you say, hey, how about
Yeah, you like that.
Now you whiten it up, whitified.
But
You know?
like you saying, like you talking that we all can understand you talking properly, all right? But it's not talking like a white
Ain't
person.
nothing wrong with knowing a big word.
Because at the end of the day, this ain't language. It ain't our language. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk. We had our own language.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We were forced to learn their fucking language. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing, the reason why the Africans, when they were slaves, they got here and they understood because ass whippings and math are universal. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Math was the same in every country and ass whippings were the same in every country.
You know, it was a good thing, a tidbit about Japan. You had a lot of black people that was in Japan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like even
black folks.
exactly, like your grandmother, her descendants could go back to Japanese. Who you said was Japanese? Your mother.
My grandfather.
Your grandfather.
And my mother.
All right, like he might have looked Japanese and been from Japan, but his lineage could have went back to black people.
Yeah.
Because you know when you go into the history of the samurais and say in order to be a samurai, you have to have Negro blood. Because you go back into the history, look it up.
Oh,
when you get a
shit.
chance, look that shit up. Go back into the samurais of Japan. Because we was mingled up and living in Japan, man.
I'm gonna tell you something because you know what you said. Some parts of China is accepted,
Right.
and it's funny because Korea was born before Japan because they were the next island after they were. You know what I'm saying? Like if I wanted to get to 36th Street, I have to go through 35th Street.
Right.
Korea was 35th Street.
Right.
So of course they stopped there first.
Right.
So their culture was is older than Japan's culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody basically was Chinese originally. Just like this country, before the Civil War, that Civil War, that war with the white niggas. You know what I'm saying?
The revolutionary.
It was all Britain people.
Yeah, it was English. Yeah.
Until they stood here long enough and they started talking like cowboys 100 years later. And I always wanted to know how the fuck they went from Chippewa to y'all bring me the nigger. You know what I'm saying? Like how in 100 years they accent changed so drastically.
Exactly. Right.
crazy, right?
Because they was speaking just like the Brits.
Yeah.
You read
and then
about
100
that.
years ago, they're like, bring me the nigger. You know, It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
In 100 years.
And they will look at themselves like they're different from them when they're the same people.
Yep.
Just like the
They
so-called
are
Jews.
same.
The so-called Jews are the same as all these white people. But they separate themselves like they're different people.
How you call yourself a Jew? You live in the hottest region on the motherfucking planet except Africa.
Right.
Second to Africa. You in the Middle East. You in Jerusalem. Right. And you as pale as a motherfucker. You can't even come out in the daytime in your own country.
Yeah, exactly.
And the last time I checked, countries were made where that country's only 60 years old. Ain't no country in this world only 60 years
It's 60 years old because of
They made it right there.
Right. That's why it's called the state of Israel. They don't call themselves the nation of Israel, and they don't call themselves Israelites. They call themselves the state of Israel because that's when it was created. After World War II, they stole it. That's our land.
They let them people in. Like, come here, my brothers. I'm gonna let you rob. And the minute you got your weight up on the low, you was eating good, getting your weight up, working out in the basement. Then came out and started hitting niggas. Bing, bing, bing. This is my land. And they just got ham. They went ham on these dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they were peaceful people.
Yeah.
That's, you know, it's crazy, man. Like,
But
then we backed them up. And then we want to know why we can't blow the fuck up.
On the James 1 and 1, right?
Yeah, read that first.
This is James 1 and 1.
We train the American people are backing Israel up only because of money.
Exactly. It's all about money.
Then they know that the more we back them up, the more Americans and brothers like you, innocent people, are gonna get blown the fuck up.
And
you know
Israel
what I'm saying?
basically is the secret rulers of America.
They
They're the ones who control America. They ain't Donald Trump.
Nah.
Say one thing about Israel
We're
too.
still under the British reign, the British rule.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
You're right.
they still have their hand in how we print our money.
Wow, yeah.
You're absolutely right. The Federal Reserve is owned by English bankers.
Yeah.
White, so-called white people.
You never really got released from them.
You're right about it. You're right about it. But it's all an illusion.
And it's good that my brothers over here know, because a lot of brothers don't. And these young kids today,
Oh, they're gone.
in the hood,
They're gone.
They fucked up.
They fucked up.
Because they want to kill the messenger.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to hear we talk to them about, Willie Lynch and our culture, because they don't look at it as our culture. They look at their culture being told by a Chinese.
Yeah,
and they feel some kind of way.
Yeah, like who the fuck is you tell me that? Yeah.
It's like I
With the
walked in a Chinese restaurant.
With the Christopher Columbus thing, he's getting mad because people want to, bring down the Christopher Columbus thing. Talking about why would they do that? But they were oppressing our people.
Exactly.
After they taught the nigga how to survive and eat, once he got his
Right.
weight up, he fucked us up.
Fuck
Right.
You know, every time we helped the motherfucker, we got killed in this lake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we fucked up because we were all kings and queens.
Yeah.
You know?
Kings.
And let me kings. And let me tell you something. Our women, these homos out here, they don't understand something. A woman can see the strength in another man that another man cannot see in another man.
Right.
That's why God
Right.
picked women to see, because a woman ain't gonna pick no pussy nigga to protect her.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
She's not spending the rest of her life with a
feminine
pussy.
woman. Because you got masculine women
Yeah.
that'll get with somebody like that. But a feminine woman looks to be protected. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
So
You're right.
a woman used to pick the king.
Yeah, exactly.
And when we started picking our own kings, we can't look and see a strength in you the way a woman can. That's when we started losing wars.
Yeah, you're
That's when
right.
we started doing that, because we picked weaker dudes. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how deep this
well,
shit is.
You made a good point. This is a faggot society now. And you see it's the music
lock
is
of the
part
key,
of it.
man.
You see it the way niggas is dressing now in the hood.
It's crazy.
All right? Wearing skirts,
Showing all
wearing
your
dresses, dressing like faggots.
You so homophobic, but yet you gonna walk around all day with your ass cheeks out.
Yeah.
Before it used to be halfway when we were growing
Right,
up.
yeah, right.
Then I was literally all out.
That's
And then
crazy.
you wanna turn around to the gay dude and be like, what the fuck you say to me? Yo, you can't say nothing to that gay dude. You promoting your ass.
Exactly.
nigga.
Exactly.
Fuck you right here.
You're right.
And I be damned if I get my ass whipped by a nigga in skinny jeans. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, bro.
Spit.
You get that scripture?
James, right?
Yep.
It's James 1:1. James, the servant of the Most High, and of the Lord Yahweh Shah.
See, it's the spirit of the Lord that brought you here, because we go back to different camps. We go back and forth over situations like you. Because they'll see somebody like you see how we stand here? You got some of the people that do the same thing that we're doing. You come up to them, they'll reject you. They'll reject you. They'll look at the way you look. They won't check your spirit out, the way you vibing, and they'll dismiss you right away. Because they're not spiritual, man. All right? It goes deeper than how you look. Your whole vibe's like the way
He's
we
an
vibe,
Israelite, man.
Even if I wasn't standing and I seen you in the streets and we
Oh, you'd
spoke,
have known.
I'll see. I'm like, yo, this dude's alright. I
Yep.
might not have told you directly, but I'm like, all right, this dude, he's one of us.
Yep.
And that's what we do.
And you don't need me to say or have a conversation with
You don't. Just
The
by your
vibe.
Felt the
vibe.
spirit, yeah,
Spirit.
felt it.
That's
Can't
it.
fake the funk.
Yeah, felt
You could
it.
have just came up to me and say, yo, what's up, man, and just gave me a dap and walked away. I'm like, nah, this whole movement just now was one of these people. Because we vibe different than every other nation. And if somebody from another nation, they truly don't vibe with us. All right? Like if you was a straight up real Japanese, you see us like, yeah, you like, hey, what's up, man? You like, whatever.
They treat me like shit.
Because why? Because you're not
They
them.
know, right.
Word.
Yeah, you're not them.
Yo, it's crazy. Like, they in the hood, right? They still fuck me like joking with me, but my people's are we adults. They don't disrespect. But they think that I look like all the other Asians. But when you line me up against the other Asians, you be like, all right, now this nigga was nothing like.
Yeah, you see it.
Talk like him, don't look like him, don't walk like him, don't
The
sound like him.
movements, everything.
Yeah, and they see it all the time, so that's why they treat me like shit.
Yeah.
Because they know that I'm something they not.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't like that
Exactly.
other something, because they
Yeah.
don't like nobody. They fuck with 100% black dude, but they fuck with a tainted Asian nigga.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's all spiritual, man. You gonna say something?
Nah.
We're gonna finish that
James
off.
1:1. James, the servant of the Most High, and of the Lord Yahweh Shah, to the 12 tribes which were scattered abroad.
Right, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. So you have our people, you be an example that's amongst every nation that's on this planet. Meaning you're gonna have our people that look like Arabs. All right, you might have our people that look like Hawaiians. They might look like a straight up Hawaiian, and you better, nah, he ain't one of us. But you see his vibe, like, nah, it's something different about him.
Man, that melanin in the skin said it all. You know what I'm saying?
It goes deeper than the melanin. Is the spirit that fuels that body, the movements, the shit that you gravitate to, the music, the soul. Exactly.
Yeah, some of our people look
our music
like
sounds, yo, and you know what? And I don't judge a man based on his skin color. I base it on several things. Who his parents are, you know what I'm saying? How he was raised, what his beliefs are.
Right.
Because you could be